Splash.
Okay, knock it off.
You spiked a friendly. I lost.
Okay, so that was good actually. I wouldn't say that there's anything particularly bad, but at the start of the fight, you did sort of maintain level flight in the scissors, and so I was able to neutralize pretty quickly because you had more downrange travel than I did, mainly because I pulled the nose up in the scissors. Just remember that in the scissors you should be in a nose up situation in order to gain advantage in reducing your downrange travel.
My main problem was, as you were so far above me, I didn't know what to do anymore. Because sure, I might be behind you, but I can't really get back up to you, right?
Yeah. It's honestly, I don't really have a good answer for you. In that situation, generally in like a scissors fight, it's one of those, if you're going up against an opponent that like understands BFM, like once you get into the scissors, it's basically win or lose. Like there's not a whole lot of opportunity for you to leave the scissors without getting shot at. Right?
And that's an answer I've gotten a lot, and that's generally an answer. Don't get yourself into that shitty situation, you know?
Yeah, and that's why you don't want to force the scissors, like I said before, because like even from both sides, you kind of lose. And not only that, once you actually get in the scissors fight, like there's no real chance to like escape cleanly, like if you are the one that's going to lose. And the only chance you have of escaping is if the offensive guy in the scissors doesn't know what he's doing, and he then commits to a shot that like either misses and he messes up follow-on BFM, and so the fight remains neutral even as the scissors breaks down. But if you're going up against someone that's done a lot of these or understands BFM and has good practice under his belt, then your chances of survival is not very high.
Yeah. I mean, only mistakes get you out of that. If your opponent makes a mistake, you can get out.
On the setup, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to teach you offensive BFM in the scissors, but in order for me to do that, I have to be defensive, right? I have to be out in front of you when we start the fight. So when we spawn back in again, like I'll
do it right this time.
I want you to maintain 200 knots, maintain your altitude, keep a close eye on your gauges, maintain 200 knots, maintain altitude, and I will basically fly across in front of you. I'll make the call 3, 2, 1, fights on, and then you pull into me. Okay? Are you hop out and then hop back in?
Yep, got it. Alright,
okay.
(911) Speed Angels left.
1-2 Speed Angels, right?
Friendly, Tomcat, 10 o'clock low, 1 mile.
No joy, because I'm a bandit, but I am above you, 6 o'clock, almost on top of your canopy. Shit.
It's a friendly.
Fox 2.
Splash.
Okay, knock it off.
Friendly is down.
Yeah, I don't know how you can go so high, man. I didn't do the scissors right. Like I just fucked up.
Yeah. When I say fights on, you're supposed to turn into me. You're not supposed to turn away from me.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So if I pass your nose and end up on your right side, you're supposed
I'll turn
to
right.
Turn right. And when I say
got it.
fights on, I'm supposed to reverse immediately.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, I get it now. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, that's all right. So you learned nothing else besides the scissors? Like he didn't teach you how to do 6K, 9K, anything
No,
of that?
because we got to the scissors and it didn't work, so it wouldn't really make sense to go further than that.
But you did snapshot. You did snapshot though, right?
Yeah, we did do that.
So it was that and scissors and that's it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, ready.
Okay.
Night 1-1, Speed Angels left.
1-2, Speed Angels right.
Alright, try to maintain 200 knots at altitude. Three, two, one. Flight's on.
We've got a friendly. Tomcat, 7 o'clock, 1 mile.
Alright, looks good. You are now offensive in the scissors.
We locked a buddy.
Alright.
Damn, that was a friendly.
Alright, knock it off.
I don't know. I can't get up to you. That's the biggest problem. Like you go into a setting where I can't really see you anymore, and then I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough.
Scissors.
Like I used to be just like you, very unable to do what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
It's just basically it's just a practice. It just takes practice. Like I wasn't able to do this straight out the gate. Like when I was also fighting in the scissors, like I would always lose. But I figured out through practice and muscle memory that like how to fight well in the scissors.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you can see why fighting in the scissors is not a good idea, whether defensive or offensive. Right?
Absolutely.
Like it's just difficult. Like especially if you're going to go up against fly-by-wire aircraft. Like fly-by-wire aircraft are really easy to control and not like the F-14. So
yeah,
fighting in like the scissors for a fly-by-wire aircraft is not that difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
I mean, I could look at another setup and we could try that. I don't, they're not that difficult. Like butterfly or some. I haven't looked at those, so probably not a good idea.
So 6K and 9K are what you are going to have to learn how to do
Mm-hmm.
in BFM. We usually do the what do you call it? We usually do the presentation and the what do you call it? The tests, the quizzes, they have a specific name to them. The training aids.
Yeah.
But we can try. I can try teaching
Well,
you now.
look, I've done the three first training aids, so I've done the ones for offensive as well. I've just not done defensive and
High aspect.
high aspect. Yeah, and what I also haven't done is the full practical lesson for offensive. So that's where I'm at exactly.
Okay. I don't know if you want to keep trying butterfly then.
I don't. Yeah.
Oh, I mean flats.
Yeah.
I mean flats. Butterfly is high aspect. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's do another flats. I wanna see if I can do a bit better this time.
Okay.
Night 1-1, Speed Angels left.
1-2, Speed Angels right.
Three, two, one. Flight's on. Flight's on.
We got a spike, 6 o'clock. We took a hit. Oh, we're badly damaged.
All right. Good hit.
You definitely put yourself into that position for me.
Yeah.
Uh,
Let's try it again. Yeah.
I had a winder shot like a minute earlier, but my master arm was fucked because of the pausing. It was it was weird. It was the cover was down, but the switch was up, so I couldn't shoot it. That was really weird. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay, so that was actually pretty good. You were able to keep your downrange travel down to a minimum.
Yeah.
And because of that, I kind of didn't have any chance. I probably should have gotten out of the scissors when you locked me up the first time, but I just kind of wanted to see if I stayed in, if you would like stall a wing or fall out of.
Yeah, it could have happened. The biggest problem there is I think downrange travel is good, but like I don't know how you get so high up. Like I don't. That's a really hard one, and it's good for me if I can get my nose on you and you're really high, meaning we have range. I can do a sidewinder shot, but it's still weird. Like I don't know.
Yeah. How I get high is I deploy the maneuver flaps. You know that when it gets slow enough and the AOA gets high enough, it'll deploy those smaller maneuver flaps on the outer portion of the wing.
Mm-hmm.
And I also keep an eye on my AOA gauge and make sure that I'm at 19 AOA.
Like perfectly.
Like as much as I can. I can't do it perfectly because I have to stop looking at the AOA and make sure you're not doing anything dangerous, right? To me. So I try to keep it as much as I can. The force feedback stick kind of helps because it starts to shake a lot when I get over 19 AOA, so I can like just ease off the stick a little bit and do whatever rudder or roll maneuvers I need to do in order to get it to stabilize the aircraft.
Yeah, the problem with the AO for me really is once you get, you stall, you get maximum lift and then stall. So
yeah,
that's really hard.
It is. It takes a lot of practice. Yeah. Did you want to try again?
Yeah, absolutely. Ready on my side.
Speed Angels left. Say again.
Speed Angels right.
Three, two, one. Flight's on. Flight's on.
We have a friendly F-14, 9 o'clock low, 1 mile. That spike's on our 10. Oh shit, we took heavy damage.
Alright, good shot.
Yeah, first one was terrible. First one was alright. It was terrible. It wasn't as good as it could have been, let's say.
Yeah, that was good. So I think you're getting the hang of it.
The main problem is, yeah, I'm concentrating less on scissors at that time, and I'm doing them. I'm starting to do them intuitively, I suppose. I think that's a good thing. I stopped thinking about doing scissors. I don't know if it's still
you
scissors.
Just fight, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look as good anymore, I don't think.
Well, it's not as exaggerated. If you're trying to decrease downrange travel, you're not going to be actually doing 90-degree or 180-degree like turns. That's not actually like conducive to downrange travel, right? You're just trying to keep your airspeed down and also add in a right and a left vector in order to further decrease your travel, right?
Yeah.
I mean, theoretically, like if you were to think about the scissors fight as a downrange fight, you basically need to be at minimum speed and then add turns in order to further decrease your downrange travel. Because if both aircraft are at minimum speed and one flies straight and the other one curves, well, the one that flies straight is going to end up out front and in danger.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right. So I think they teach it a little weird, but they do kind of exaggerate the whole fight in order to sort of help you with visualization of the fight. But in reality, it's more basically being at minimum speed at max power, right? Because you want to gain energy in the fight. If you're not gaining energy when you can be gaining energy, you're kind of wasting potential. But you're also, not only are you basically climbing at max or minimizing your at the lowest speed at max power, but you're also turning. But remember that when you're at near stall speed, you're not going to get amazing performance out of the jet. So it's going to be very slow, very tight circles or half circles, right? Because that's what you're doing, right? You're just kind of weaving back and forth. It's not as exaggerated as they kind of teach you in it, but it's there in order to help you visualize it.
Yeah.
I'm in the plane. Are you?
Oh no, wait, I'm not in the plane. I was listening. I was...
Yeah.
There we go. I'm ready.
Okay. All right.
911 speed angels left.
1-2, speed is right.
Friendly, Tomcat, 2 o'clock, 1 mile.
3, 2, 1, flight's on. Flight's on.
We locked the friendly.
Box 2.
Splash.
Alright,
Shit,
good job.
they got one of ours.
Lost sight pretty quickly.
Yeah. Also, you did kind of stall your left wing there, right? So you were kind of stuck in a left-hand turn.
No, well, no, I think control was okay. I think I just did that.
That's a BFM error then.
Because I lost sight. I was really not
you
sure
lost-
anymore where.
If you lost sight, you still got
Exactly.
to
Yeah.
reverse, because otherwise you're just doing a 2 circle at 1 circle speeds, right?
Yeah. I get. Yeah.
Yeah.
Missile defense was better though. Didn't help, but it was better.
Yeah.
Nah.
This time you kind of didn't climb as much, I think. So your downrange travel was
Higher.
I think it was kind of on par with mine, because you were still kind of offensive from my perspective, but because of the huge altitude difference.
Yeah, that was just mainly because I lost sight pretty quickly, and then it went downrange from there. I mean, it literally did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that was. Okay.
All right.
Ready.
All right, load back in the jet. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so if you are blind, there is in the scissors, there's not that much. Man, if you're blind in the scissors, that's going to be I would just basically check the last place you look and look side to side. Don't look back and don't look forward, because the main movement relative to your plane is side to side, right? It's not forward or backward, because we're at coast speed, right?
I caught myself doing that. I was looking behind myself. It's like, you cannot be. What are you doing? Look up. Look to the sides.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Remember that in a scissors, like relative to your aircraft, I'm not really moving forward or back. I mean, I might be, but at such a slow rate that it really wouldn't make a huge difference. You got to be looking above you and side to side, like where you last saw me, and then side to side, essentially.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't be falling behind you. I mean, do check. Just check for a second or two.
Yeah.
But my main movement on the canopy relative on your plane is side to side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm in.
Me too.
Mac 1-1, speed angels left.
1-2, speed angels right.
Three, two, one, flight's on.
Lights on.
Watch it, buddy.
Fox 2. Missile miss. Fox 2.
Our missile missed. Splash.
Yeah, I lost. It went really well, I think, and then I lost sight again.
Yeah. Are you using a headset or Trek IR? Or?
Trek IR, but like at some
Okay.
point the sun is in the way, so there's a lot of reflection on the canopy, and you just, yeah.
Right.
I just lost you in that. That was literally it.
I think you did. You're improving a lot. Like
Yeah.
a lot faster than most people, honestly. I would only say that some of your reversals were late. I think
They
That's
were,
kind-
but
yeah,
I had trouble also judging where you were flying, so that was,
uh,
yeah, plain
I-
immersion. Really didn't know what that was.
yeah. I don't know. It might be tougher to gauge the fight from with an altitude disadvantage when you're looking up.
Yeah.
I don't know. It might be more difficult, but basically at that point, I'm just basically rocking the plane side to side in order to just because the fuselage, the actual canopy, the physical metal of the
Yeah,
canopy is
yeah.
blocking my view of you.
Yeah.
But as long as you act predictable and you don't bail out of the fight while you're transitioning from one side to the other, like following you isn't too difficult. It was good. I think I don't know if my missile was too close or I didn't pull it. I don't think I pulled it enough lead. Did it actually Did it actually come close or did it fall behind you?
I think it did fall behind me. I don't know if it. See, I was looking at that. I was like, okay, that's not that actually, but it could have been the flares. I really don't know.
Yeah.
But it didn't come close. It was behind me, but it might have just tracked a little bit and then not. The second one, I was like, yeah, this is gonna get me. And then I saw a stab fly by. And, I was like, yep, that missile got me, and there's my stab. Yeah,
So I'm definitely So that I think that's doing well. I think you're doing well. I think when you fight Schmidt though, if you do that, like he's gonna comment on it in some way. I don't know. Honestly, keep
What exactly?
practicing, cause the way they teach scissors is that it's the downrange travel is high, right?
Hmm.
Like you're going 200 knots and you're doing these S turns, but the way I fight is to go very nose high and just basically snake in gentle turns, right?
Yeah, I
Once
think
I cross your 3-9 line.
uh, there for how Schmidt is teaching it, and I can't judge. I don't know what's better, but he's really more into the turns and less into the nose high.
Yeah, and I'm into the nose high and less about the turns because I'm trying to because the objective, like the winning factor in any scissors fight, is limiting downrange travel.
And not
Right?
really what kind of turns you're making. Yeah.
Yeah, the turns really don't matter. Just doing whatever you possibly can to limit downrange travel. So you're basically at the slowest speed that you can possibly be at
Hmm. I mean,
before the plane
incidentally,
stalls,
that
and
slow speed,
also adding turns so that you're not just flying straight, which increases downrange travel.
and
Like,
incidentally, that slow speed is also your best turn performance. So
yeah, I wouldn't say turn performance. At that slow speed, like you're basically
turn,
tightrope walking.
yeah, turn
Like
radius.
you have to be super gentle with the plane when you're down to like 120,
20 knots.
140
Yeah,
knots. Yeah, you have to
yeah.
be very gentle because if you make one bad input and the plane will start stalling and possibly go into a spin. And after when that happens, like you've lost the scissors and now you're full on defensive.
No,
If there's
I'm
anything good about the scissors is that if you were defensive, you actually have like a chance of reversing it if you do the scissors well enough. But if you fall off that tightrope of performance and you stall or you go into a spin, like
yeah. I mean,
yeah, you're going to be you're it's just a roll of the dice to see whether or not the enemy recognizes it, can take advantage of it based on position and speed, but your chances are good that you're going to be defensive once you get out of that stall, once you get out of that spin.
sure. Even if he doesn't get a sidewinder on you whilst you're in a spin, like
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, what I definitely notice is it's getting better. I'm getting better at controlling the aircraft as well. And I mean that that curve, 10% curve I put on, it's
Yeah.
lifesaver. I don't know, man. I don't know why. I don't know. That wasn't. It didn't occur to me that might help. And then you guys just
Yeah.
told me.
Fine control is very necessary in the F-14 and any non-fly-by-wire aircraft. You don't really need um, curves on the F-18 or the Mirage, mainly
Hmm.
because mainly because like you have a computer that
Does.
interprets
Yeah.
it, yeah, for you, so it's not that important. But on a P-51, P-38, P-47,
Mm.
uh, F-14, like where your inputs actually
Yeah.
are not like tampered with, like it's very important to have fine control of the aircraft.
No, for me, what was interesting, I've been flying the F-14 for about a year now, and I've done everything with it apart from dogfighting well. And it didn't occur to me, or let's say scissors, and it didn't, like everything else worked fine. And then you kind of notice that there's a really big trouble controlling the airframe well at high AOA, low speeds. And then, yeah, well, that was good though. And other things have become more easy as well now, so that's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Let's try 6K. I want to see how well you do in that.
Okay, how do these go?
Um, so wait, did you learn about the attack window,
Yep.
window entry, stuff
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I
So
have never done an attack window entry or an OBT or
yeah,
anything like
and
that.
and we'll take a look at how you do. Hop into 6K a beam 2 slot.
Okay. And these go how? So we're 1.5 miles a beam off one another. Ah, right. Okay, I remember. No, I don't.
Okay, so I'm gonna say Night 1-1, Speed Angels left. You're
Mhm.
gonna say Night 1-2,
Yeah.
Speed Angels right, And I'm going to say night 1, check left, 45, right? And then we're going to do a 45 check turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember what a check turn is?
Yep, yep.
Tell me what a check turn is.
The 30-degree angle bank, 45 degrees.
Angle, 30 degree angle bank level, right? You're
Yeah,
maintaining altitude while you're in a 30-degree bank.
Yeah.
We're going to maintain, I believe, 300 knots throughout the entire thing, so keep a good eye on your altitude indicator, your speed indicator, right? And your heading, because you're going to have to, subtract 45 from whatever, or you're just going to have to count, right?
Well, it's right now if we're doing a check. Are you doing a check left or a check right?
Check left, because I'm going to be defensive. Remember, you're training for offensive BFM, so you have to be the offensive person.
Yeah.
So check left 45. I think our heading currently is 070, so you just subtract 45 from that, and what do you get? You get 25?
I don't know. I can't look at it right now. I'm trying to figure it out. Yeah, right now we're heading straight north. I don't know if that's correct.
That's not correct. That's not. The coastline is north-south, and we're facing 070. So after the 45-degree check turn, I should be on your 45. I should be like 45 degrees off tail. No, you should be 45 degrees off tail from me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when I do that, I'm gonna say you are going to say reverse when you see me at a 45-degree angle off nose, right? You're gonna say reverse. I'm gonna reverse. Basically, instead of a left-hand turn, I'm gonna turn right in front of you, and you're going to look at the TACAN, right? You're gonna look at the TACAN, and at 1 mile, you're going to say Fox 2. You're not gonna shoot a Fox 2 because if it hits,
and you did, yeah.
Then I'm dead, and then we can't train, right? We can't continue the fight. We're looking at
follow-on
BFM. Follow-on, yeah.
Yeah.
So at 1 mile, you're going to say, at 1 mile, you are going to say Fox 2. You're going to try to count down, right? Say 1.5, 1.4, 1.3, 1.2, 1.1. At 1.0, say Fox 2, don't fire. I'm going to release a bunch of flares, and I'm going to do my defensive brake turn. And then you're going to, in a sense, you're going to fly at my flares, because that's where I started my defensive brake turn. And then when you see the attack window entry, you're going to do your offensive brake turn.
Yeah.
And what you're looking for is that the aspect stabilizes, right? And what does it mean when I say my aspect stabilizes? It means that your perspective of my plane doesn't really change. Like if you can imagine a bucket, and I'm spinning the bucket around, right, above my head, and you're outside of that arc in the bucket, you can see my aspect change, the bucket's aspect changing. You'll see the bottom of the bucket, you'll see the side of the bucket, you'll see like the water inside the bucket as it's spinning around above my head, right? So what happens when you stand next to me, right, while I'm swinging this bucket full of water above my head? You basically see into the bucket, you see the water inside the bucket, but that's about it, right? You don't see the side of the bucket, you don't see the underside, the bottom of the bucket, right, from the other side of the bucket, right, the non-water containing part. So
dude, I lost you. I'm sorry.
So my target aspect doesn't change. It just means that I'm not changing shape. My silhouette isn't changing,
okay, I get that. Okay, yeah.
So you're looking for that. So there's two things you're looking for a correct attack window entry. The first thing is my target aspect stops changing, right? That means you are inside my bubble, right? Once my target aspect stops changing, you are then going to look for an explosion of line of sight, basically me traveling very fast across your canopy. Like when something is traveling from far away, it doesn't really like take up a lot of degrees, right, of movement. But when you are much closer to that same target, making that same movement, that movement is gonna look more exaggerated, right? It's gonna travel more degrees across your view, right? So when you see that, you are then going to put your lift vector on me or slightly below me and pull for 19 AOA. You're gonna pull for maximum lift efficiency. or whatever they call it, whatever the actual terminology is called. I can't remember. So so remember, when you hit the attack window, you're looking for two things. My target aspect is not changing, right? You're not seeing my nose to the top of my aircraft to my tail, right? It's good. You're just going to see the top of my aircraft, and it's not going to really change that much.
Yeah.
And then you're going to look for, does it start picking up speed? Is it traveling more and more degrees across your view, right? And when you see that, you're going to roll your aircraft. Well, you should be rolling your aircraft right before you see that line of sight explosion. And then when you see it happening, you're going to pull for 19 AOA for maximum lift. Okay. So
we'll see how that goes. It's a lot of stuff.
So Night 1-1 Speed Angels left, Night 1-2 Speed Angels right. Okay, the check left 45. We do that 45. Once you see me like 30 to 45 degrees off your nose, right, off the left side of your nose, you are going to say reverse.
Yeah.
You got to let me know when I am in good position relative to your aircraft.
Yeah. Then reverse.
When you say reverse, I am going to, instead of a left turn, I'm going to do a right turn, a level right-hand turn.
Do I follow you into that? No, I don't. You will fly on my, across my nose. Right?
Yeah, you're going to maintain that heading while I fly across your nose. You're going to look at the TACAN. You're going to count down from 1.5, 1.4, 1.3, 1.2,
I don't think, is it that exact? On the, is it, can I?
Select TACAN
for
steer command.
Dude, I was looking at
the screen.
Yeah. I was looking at the...
It'll give you a point. It'll get 1 decimal point. Also, we got to turn on... I don't know who... I think Wertz edited this mission, but we got to turn on our yardstick, because I think it's off automatically.
I'm turned at 92, but I do still need to turn to air. So, if you tune 29, we should be good.
And then at 1 mile, you're going to say Fox 2, you're not going to shoot, and I'm going to drop flares. And then I'm going to do my defensive brake turn, and then you're going to do your attack window entry. Does that make sense?
We'll see how it goes. Yeah, makes sense.
Let's check our radio, because I'm pretty sure it's been past 10 minutes of explosion.
Yeah. I'm ready in the aircraft.
Ready to check. Night 1-1 Speed Angels left. Night 1-2 Speed Angels right. Night 1 check left 45. 2.
There's a friendly Tomcat, 4 o'clock, 2 miles.
Alright, where's my reverse call? Reverse. .4. Countdown. 0.3, 0.2, 0.1, Fox 2. Alright, flight's on. Flight's on.
Target, 2 miles. Watch it, friendly.
Fox 2. Fox 2.
Splash. One of ours is going down.
My wings.
My wings were manual for some reason.
You might have hit the button accidentally.
Yeah, I think I did that.
Okay, so the setup went pretty poorly. It was almost a nose-to-nose merge. You gotta, you know that little tiny side window?
Yeah, you were in that though. Like,
I was in that.
yeah,
Okay.
and that's why I mean I waited for the
And you
reverse.
maintained 300 knots. Okay, let's try it again. We might be doing something wrong, but it's cool.
All right, I'm in the airplane.
Okay, starting. Remember, we gotta turn on our air-to-air attack amp.
Night 1-1, Spin Angels left.
Now on to Spin Angels right.
Night. Night 1, check left, 45. 2. Sorry, I froze there for a few seconds. We'll be fine. Reverse. Point 5. Point 4. Point 3. Point 2. Point 1. Fox 2.
Okay, he's locking us, 6 o'clock. it. Friendly.
Fox 2.
Splash.
Yeah, that was good. Although
One of ours is
he did
going down.
something I had no idea what it was.
Sorry.
He did something and he pulled up somehow, and I mean I was sort of losing it, but it was okay still.
Remember what I told when you and Scarrett were you and Scarrett were fighting?
Mhm.
Dog fighting?
Uh,
Remember when I told you that when you see the fighter moving forward towards the canopy naturally,
Yeah.
start pulling harder? That's what I did. So basically I was
Yeah.
displacing my post away from your post, and that gave me enough it created enough distance between the posts, our respective posts, so that I could actually make use of the misaligned turn circles. I instead decided to try to go into the vertical to just basically do a kind of a high yo-yo.
Yeah, and I didn't really
and
recognize.
Get you to flush out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Didn't really recognize that, but that worked perfectly, and I thought it was something like that, but I didn't really know what to do, so that was pretty cool.
Honestly, if you're in that situation, you got to just pull, bleed down energy, and try to get back inside the bubble, so it makes a Fox 2 shot, or really any shot, very difficult, if not impossible.
Yeah, the problem was I was already at 250 knots trying to get.
Yeah.
So
remember you need to be at 350, 340 knots.
Yeah.
For 2 circle flight.
Yeah. Cool, but that was good though. That went much better.
Yeah, I think the setup was a lot better. You were further back into my rear quarter when we started the fight. But I think it's kind of hard to tell from my perspective, but it kind of looked like from what ended up happening, which was us ending up on opposite sides of the 2 circle, is that it seems like you hit your attack window late.
Yeah, probably.
So I was able to pull you into neutral. And so it was a neutral 2 fight basically to 5,000 feet, and then from there I did that small tiny energy excursions, mini excursions, to displace the post so that I could take advantage of misaligned turn circles in my favor, and then I was able to do a high yo-yo, which basically flushed you outside my bubble. I turned back in, fired a Fox 2 shot, and I was able to.
Yeah.
And I lead enough so that the missile was able to reach.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yep. I don't know if you wanted to try that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm in the aircraft.
So remember, when you see me 45 degrees off your nose, which is basically that tiny side window in front of your HUD, or beside your HUD, tell me reverse. I was kind of just flying out on 025 for a good 20-30 seconds. I don't know if you were still in your turn.
I was still in the turn.
Weird,
yeah,
okay. Because I had that weird freeze, and that kind of completely disoriented.
But yeah. As long as you're in the window, it should be fine, though, right? So, okay, cool.
Alright, let's maintain 350 knots. Copy. Night 1-1, Speed Angels left.
Night 1-2, Speed Angels right.
Night 1, check left 45. 2. Remember that you can call the reverse at any time during the turn.
I see, alright. Reverse. Okay, we're already at point 1.
She's locking us. 5 o'clock.
Bad missile shot. Terrible.
Fight's coming our way. We've locked a friendly.
Mark 2. Good missile defense.
Our missile missed.
Yeah, that was good.
I lost
I really
lock.
tried to do the pull when you move aft thing. I don't know.
Wait, did you try?
I did like really hard actually.
Yeah, it's something that you gotta practice. It didn't really click for me until I actually won a fight with it.
I saw it work in the beginning, and then I did some stupid stuff and got on the wrong speed.
Yeah, the thing is that in order for it to work, you just basically have to have a very keen awareness of your speed.
Yeah.
This will not work if you constantly spend a large portion of your time outside the turn radius band or turn speed rate band, which is like 300 to 350 knots. So if you're spending a good portion of your time outside of it, and I'm talking about like, I would say like 10, 20 seconds per minute of the fight, then it's just simply not going to work.
Yep.
You have to be very anal about your speed, because it only works if you time it right with the correct speeds involved, because it's basically geometry, and if you're sloppy with the geometry of it, it's just not going to work.
Yeah. Missile defense is good though.
I think you did a good missile defense. The funny thing is that you set out a second set of flares. I lost you in the ground clutter,
Oh, and then, god damn it. Yeah, I thought...
But then you unleashed a bunch of flares, and I picked you up, and I was able to get another Fox 2 shot off on you because of that.
Wait, you shot 2 Fox 2s? But... No, you only shot 1, right?
I only shot 1.
Yeah.
It's just bad BFM to shoot 2 Fox 2s at the same time.
No, because... yeah.
But yeah, so I lost you in the forced ground clutter. And you set off another set of flares, and I was able to pick you up because of that.
The first Fox 2, I anticipated. You know, I was... Yeah, he's far enough out, he can do that. So I was waiting for that missile defense, right? And then when I got to the ground there, I heard you locking me again, and I was like, okay, there's a second one coming, so I flared. But yeah, that wasn't the case.
Yeah. Alright, cool, yeah. So you're getting a good idea of... So when I'm seeing what I saw both times is that we end up in neutral, cross circle.
Yeah, the attack window entry. I think I'll do it earlier if we do it again.
Remember, you are looking for 2 things. The first thing you are looking for is that the target aspect stops changing. Relatively. I'm not saying that it like completely freezes.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that it stabilizes. You're seeing basically the top of my aircraft, and it's not really changing from that. You're not going to see the side of my aircraft, the front of my aircraft, the back of my aircraft, the underside of my aircraft in like the next few seconds. You just see the top of my aircraft, and for the time being, it doesn't look like that aspect is going to change, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first thing you're looking for. The second thing you are looking for is line of sight explosion. So I start traveling very quickly across your canopy.
Yeah.
By that time, you have to pull for 19 AOA, put your lift vector on or below me, and pull for 19 AOA. And
no,
I'd say 400 knots.
Definitely, now that I've seen it, I understand that much better.
Yeah. So I would say when you see my target aspect, my aspect stabilize, I would roll the aircraft so that my lift vector is kind of lined up with, so that your lift vector is lined up with me, and then when you see the line of sight explosion, then pull. Because a lot of people hit the attack window entry late because they fly with 0 degree bank, right? They see the attack window entry, and then they roll and then pull, and that half second of time where they're rolling kind of makes them a little late to the attack window entry. So I usually break it up so that if I see your target aspect stop moving or stop changing, I start rolling to line up my what is it? The velocity vector, not the velocity vector, the lift vector, line it up with you, or line it up with my bandit, and then when I see the line of sight explosion, I then pull, right? So I'm not wasting a few extra seconds on the roll portion, so that I'm ready to go the second I see the line of sight explosion. So try doing that. Break it up into 2 pieces. That's what I think that's kind of something I learned by myself.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I'm in the aircraft.
All right, give me.
Night 1-1's radio check. Good check. Let's maintain 350 knots. Okay, Night 1-1, speed angels left. Night 1-2, speed angels right. Night 1, check left 45. 2.
Okay, he's locking us 6 o'clock.
Very good, very good. about half a mile. Yeah, see it.
Target, 1 mile. That's a friendly.
Fox 2. Oh, wrong.
Shit, they got one of ours.
Dude, just when Spike 12 o'clock did a hit. And I was like, what? And I don't know what that was.
I think because you're in a turn.
Yeah, he fucked it. I should have trusted yesterday. I was just so confused.
I think that because when you are in a turn, like you know about the F-14, right? The odd thing about the RWR in the
Yeah. No, actually I don't.
You don't?
No.
Okay, so the weird thing about the F-14's radar warning receiver is that 2 of its sensors is on the tail rods, right? Those 2 giant horizontal stabilizers. So what that means is that whenever you use them, whether that be in a turn where you're pulling and so the ailerons are deflected up, whether they're deflected down, or when you're rolling, which is one is up and one is down, the sensors also move out of position in relation to the aircraft body, right? So what that means is that whenever you're maneuvering the aircraft, or changing the attitude, velocity vector, or whatever, the RWR gives you false readings as to the direction of the incoming radar. Just so you know.
Dude, that...
So when you...
It just confused me. I was like, 1 circle, what? And then, no, he's right behind me, and then dead.
I was kind of in your forward quarter. It was a high aspect sort of fight, because we were in it's one of those, like, it was one of those weird 2 circles where we were just basically in our own circles.
Yeah, exactly.
There's just that one moment where we're passing each other's nose.
And if I had been a better shot, I would have, hit my snapshot there. It was actually not bad, I don't think.
I think you got a little too greedy. Whenever you pull the trigger, you have to know that you have a good shot. Like if
you're right, actually, yeah.
If you look at the TAC view, the majority of my shots are only done when I know that I'm going to land a hit. When I'm fairly confident. I don't have to be 100% confident. I just have to be fairly confident, and that does kind of take a lot of, experience and sort of.
No, I think no, you're right there. You're definitely right there. That was overconfident shot. Although I was happy that I got a shot off. So.
Yeah. So yeah, that Fox 2 shot was not going to hit. I think you shot once, right? Fox 2.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
And then you tried a high aspect tracking shot, and I had to do a little bit of jinking in order.
Yeah,
to
that's sort of the one I meant. That's the one I thought I was happy. The Fox 2 shot was dumb. The gun shot, I don't know, also dumb.
I generally, whenever I'm dogfighting, I stay in guns, and then when I see a Fox 2 shot opportunity coming, I switch to Fox 2's fire and then switch back to guns, and I do that mainly because I want to be ready for a snap or high aspect tracking shot, and so I keep it in gun just in case something like that happens. But that's the thing with Fox 2 shots, is that I wait until I know that I can get a Fox 2 off, and then I switch it to Fox 2s, and then fire, and then go back to guns. I think that's a good practice.
So I was definitely planning on Foxing on you. I remember that. Did I actually Fox 2 on you?
I actually can't remember. I feel like you did.
I did in an earlier one, I think. In this one, I planned on doing it, but I don't think I did do that. Damn it, man. My brain.
Yeah, maybe. You might not have. I can't. I'm kind of mixing all our other fights.
Yeah. No, but you're right. Yeah, I was planning on doing it, though. Like, I was in the... Usually I do it the same way. I have it in guns, but I was planning on Foxing on you early there.
Right.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to get going.
Yeah,
but,
that was cool.
It's like 8:30, but thanks for coming in and flying and training with me.
Yep.
Remember, take a look at the TAC view. Do you have?
Yeah, I will.
Take a look at it. If you have any questions, if you have what could I done here, or what could I done differently, if you ever have any of those questions, or want to discuss any of the fights that we had, just let me know and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, I will.
All right,
awesome.
Sounds good.
Thank you, man.
All right,
That's
cool.
awesome.
All right. Yep.
You too. See ya.
All right.